Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the GTR podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Payton, and this is episode 3. I will actually welcome you guys back. I say welcome back because I've been gone for about 2 weeks. Last week was my birthday, and this week I've been kind of celebrating, and the week before I was celebrating because I was with family and stuff like that. So, got a little relaxation from the pod, but we're right back into it. The relaxation main well. Of course, I watch NBA games during it and stuff like that. And that's a good thing because this episode is about the NBA awards for the first month. I'm going to give my predictions of how I feel like everybody's ranking and standings is right now. We're going to talk about standings in the East and Western Conference. And also, we're going to talk about things I want to see next week. And next time we get on this pod, we're going to talk about things we saw. So, starting off, we're going to be taking a look around the league in the standings, see who the best teams, and see where my projection at the beginning of the season ranks right now. So, starting off in the Eastern, should we start off in the East? Let's start off in the Eastern Conference. Yeah, let's start off in the Eastern Conference. Eastern Conference has been fun to watch this season. If you're not watching Eastern Conference games like the Wizards and stuff like that, well, right now, my predictions and a lot of people's predictions are messed up because right now, as in, 11 games, everybody got double-digit games under their belt. But this conference has been shaking a lot. I know a lot of injuries has happened. The things has not been going right for teams. But starting off, let's talk about the top 3 teams in the East. The Wizards, the Bulls, and the Nets. Wow. 2 of those teams I really didn't expect to be up there. Right now, let's talk about it. The Wizards right now is playing phenomenal basketball. They're 7-3 in their last 10. 3-game winning streak and holds the record of 8-2. This team with Bradley Beal and enough supporting cast looks very good. Like elite, actually. Not even very good. Just very elite. And that's scary. On their schedule, and they didn't face no weak teams. Their schedule has been pretty solid since the beginning of the year or the beginning of this season, where we thought teams were going to be ranking. They faced the Raptors. That's an easy cakewalk. At the beginning of the year, of course. Pacers, they lost to the Nets, but after that, it's been wins against good teams or teams we thought would be very good starting the season off. They beat the Celtics, Hawks, and Celtics. Like, that's some good teams we thought were going to be good starting off. And they come back, beat the Bucks, beat the Grizzlies. So beating a lot of teams that you would think should be above them. But right now, since they got the number 1 spot, they're taking care of business and keeping it moving on. Kyle Kuzma is looking good over there. Montrezl Harrell, Spencer Dinwiddie, them pieces that we talked about, looking like they're panning out and going to be pretty solid with this team. I don't see any weaknesses in this team right now, as in where they lack. Of course, they're not the best defending team, but they're one of the best offenses in the league, so that's okay. Everybody seems to know their role and liking their role right now. And they're well coached. Bradley Beal, still that number 1 option, closing games out. But right now, the number 2 and number 3 looks like it could be anybody. And this team is giving me Miami Heat vibes of the team that went to the finals in the bubble. Anybody can go off at any night, and they don't care about who going off. They're going to feed that team or that person. Sorry, they're going to feed that person on that team. So right now, it looks very good in Washington. Next up is the Chicago Bulls. Chicago, I knew they're going to be good, but this good? The record of 8-3. 7-3 in their last 10 games on the 2-game winning streak, just like the Wizards. 7-3 in the last 10, but on the 2-game winning streak, this team has been nothing but spectacular. DeMar DeRozan is playing MVP type basketball. Zach LaVine looks great. Hasn't lost a beat from last year. Looks like Zach LaVine needed this team. DeMar DeRozan being that playmaker and helping Zach on offense, and you got Lonzo Ball who's being the best defender on the court for them. Switching, rotating, guarding their best players, switching on some bigs. Lonzo looking like he's Lonzo Ball, where we thought he was going to be, and where he's projected to be right now in Chicago. And he's loving the role. Definitely with Alex Caruso coming off the bench, those two are just fun to watch defensively if you tune in. You got Vucevic, who took a step down, but it makes sense because he has better players. But I knew this step was going to happen because DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Lonzo are just better, as in with the ball in their hands. So that happens. But their bench is not bad either. Their bench is holding it down, really, from Alex Caruso and Ayo. Patrick Williams is doing really good until he got the season injury and season injury out for the season. Sorry about that. I can't think right now. Sorry. Right now they're in the game with the Warriors and they're getting blown out as we speak. But besides the Warriors games, they beat the teams they needed to beat and beat good teams also. From the start of the season, they beat the Pistons, Pelicans. So they're taking easy games and doing what they need to do to win. Again, the Pistons and the Raptors lost to the Knicks, but beat the Jazz and the Celtics, and beat the Nets with the Mavericks. So they're beating good teams and they're beating a bad team. So what else could you ask for out of this team? Right now, their personnel looks very great. Like, actually, just great is a weird word to say it, but it looks amazing actually. You have Derrick Jones Jr. is coming off the bench, was putting in work. You have Tony Bradley, even though Vucevic is out, you still got DeMar DeRozan. You got pieces who's doing what they need to. Ayo is playing really good as a rookie point guard. When he gets in, he does produce. And this team is just doing what it needs to do to win. Right now, they're out with Nikola Jokic out. They're going to be fine. Right now, they are facing the Warriors, like I said, and they're getting dubbed right now. But it is the Warriors. So, what else can you ask? You're playing winning basketball. Your fans are having fun, and people who are tuning in is loving to watch the game. So, it's nothing else to say, but keep on doing it. Keep doing what you're doing. And the last team out of the top three in the East is the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets had a slow start, but after that slow start, they went 8-10. They're 9-4 right now, record wise. And Kevin Durant just looks amazing. Kevin Durant looks like an MVP. Actually, amazing is an understatement. He looks like an MVP player, and looks like he's leading the league right now for the MVP race. Harden is a little bit struggling, but not like he's going to be struggling for the rest of the year or the whole year. He just had a good game against the Pelicans. Even though they're a bad team this year, you get your good games where you need to get them. He had like 39 and 12, if I'm not wrong. Close game, but you did sweep him up. But again, let's start off from the beginning of the season. Even though they lost to the Bucks, they bounced back to beat Philly. They lost to the Hornets, beat the Wizards, lost to the Heat. But after those little losses, they came on a winning streak. Beat Pistons, Hawks, Pistons, and Raptors. Beating bad teams to get your wins, to get the stacking up wins, which is good, and getting them reps. Lost to the Bulls, but right now, beat the Magic and Pelicans. And you're doing what you need to do. Beat it again, just with the Bulls. You're beating bad teams and keeping it moving. Nothing else. Harden looks like he's slowly coming back from the Harden we know and love. This rule change kind of affected him pretty heavy, but he's a superstar, so he's a superstar type player, so he's going to figure it out. Kevin Durant is still being Kevin Durant, so it doesn't matter. Kevin Durant is going to be the best player on the floor every time he plays. LaMarcus Aldridge is looking very good coming off the bench with Patty Mills. And their little bench three, I call it. Bruce Brown, Patty Mills, and LaMarcus Aldridge. That is a nice bench three to have right now. Great. You got your offense, your defense, and your playmaking. So if they can just keep those three really good, healthy, and all that, you're perfectly fine. Of course, you got Blake Griffin in the starting lineup. So right now, you're doing good. You're coasting through the season without having Kyrie. You're going to figure out what happens to Kyrie later on. But you're closely through the season, but you're getting your win. So it's nothing else you can say about it until the playoffs, or at least All-Star break. And with that, that fills up the top three in the East we talked about. Now let's talk about the Western Conference. And right off the gun, talk about Steph Curry and the Warriors. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Right now, they look like they can't be beat. I'm looking at an interesting stat right now, and they're beating teams differential almost by 14 points. But with that, they are 10-1, 9-1 in their last 10. Right now, they're going to be 11-1 the way they're beating the Bulls. But right now, this team looks like it can't do any wrong. Wiggins is playing great. Curry is playing MVP season. Draymond is looking pretty good. Their bench, Damian Lee, Gary Payton is the second. Iggy, all them boys on that team just look like they're ready to win. This last year they missed the playoffs, of course, but this team right now looking like they're going to make a run for the playoffs, and not just the playoff, the finals right now as they playing as of today. You have Juan Tuscan Anderson playing very well. Everybody on the team is getting very well, and their best players are still not back. You're still missing Klay Thompson, of course, with the injury. You're missing James Wiseman. I feel like he was going to be a good piece no matter what you say about him. He's going to be better than Andrew Bogut and Cesar Pachulia, who they had playing for them at center at most times. So they're going to be good. They're going to be really good, actually. So what else can you say about this? Jordan Poole has been stepping up. He's from Michigan, so I got to show him some love. But this team just looks ready to win, and they're all mature and showing that they're not taking any days off over there in Golden State at all. At all. You beat some good teams and you beat some bad teams, but you're beating teams like 10-1 with a 14-point differential. So it doesn't matter how you beating teams, good or bad. You're blowing them out, actually. And to start their season off, they, like I said, 9-1. They beat the Lakers, Clippers, Kings, Thunder. Lost to the Grizzlies. When they lost to the Grizzlies by like 3 points, Ja Morant had a fantastic game that game. I think he went for 30. But okay, that's fine. You lost to the Grizzlies, who are a good team. Then you went on a crazy winning streak again. Thunder, Hornets, Pelicans, Rockets, Hawks. And when the Hawks, Steph Curry showed Trae Young, I'm still that guy. Don't worry about your place in the league. I'm still that guy. Don't worry about it. And then you had Wiggins going off against his own team in Minnesota. And right now, you're beating the Bulls. What else has to be said about this team? This team is great on paper and game play wise. They're great, bro. I don't think you can say anything bad about this team. Yeah, but the Warriors are good, and that wraps it up for the Warriors. Now, we move on to our second team in the Western Conference. This team has been very good for a minute. NBA Finals appearance last season. They started off rough, but now on a 7-game winning streak. It's the Phoenix Suns, baby. They hold a record of 8-3. Winning their last 8 out of 10. 8-2 in their last 10. And this team started off a little bit struggling. Feel like they just had to gain some ground. But now they look perfect now. Back to where they used to last season. And they still look like finals contenders, playoffs contenders at least. You got Devin Booker, who's having a good year, putting up 23 and 5. Chris Paul, who had a little step back in scoring, but still being an efficient playmaker, making teammates better, averaging 11 assists, and still playing great defense, getting about 2 steals a game. And JaVale McGee was a big pickup that they have added to this team. Recently, I saw a play of where it's just little things of Chris Paul, how good he is. Rebound. JaVale got the rebound, passed it to Chris Paul. Chris Paul cut off the center and threw it right to JaVale since he was running the court like a big shit and got the N1. If I'm not wrong, it was against the Nuggets or the Blazers. It was against the Blazers, sorry. It was against the Blazers. Vucevic got called for the Nikola Vucevic or Nikola. Forgot the center's name that plays for the Blazers. It's gonna come to me, but he got called for the foul. JaVale McGee running up the court. He threw him to JaVale. Got the and one just running the big. Chris Paul vision is amazing, out of this world. Top Hall of Fame point guard. Top five point guard of all time. We know this. Sorry if I ramble right there or stuttered a little bit. You just know Chris Paul. But again, start off the season, they lost to the Nuggets, beat the Lakers, lost to the Blazers and the Kings, and after those losses, they've been on a killer win streak, beating teams like the Cavs, the Pelicans, Rockets, Hawks, Kings, Blazers, and Grizzlies. Beat some bad teams in there, but got some good wins. For example, good win against the Blazers, the Grizzlies, and the Cavs. All good teams this year, relatively good, and beat the bad teams they needed to, like the Rockets, the Pelicans, and the Hawks. Anything else to say about the Suns? They're going to be fine. Still see them as a deep playoff team and a tough out. That's the Suns. And the final team that's in the top three in the West for the top three spots right now is the Utah Jazz. Rudy Gobert, for the first 5 games of the season, he was MVP conversation somehow. You already know how I feel about Rudy Gobert. If you don't know, I like Rudy Gobert. Of course, he's a top center in this league, but I feel like if we replace Miles Turner on that team, Miles Turner will be better on the Utah Jazz than Rudy Gobert. But that's a whole different story for a different day. But nonetheless, Utah Jazz are 8-4. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They started off strong, got some ills, but bounced right back. But it still looked like the Donovan Mitchell show. Donovan Mitchell is the best player on this team, and it hasn't been a big change. One thing I saw was that Rudy Gobert and Miles Turner got into it. Talking about Miles Turner, they both got into it. I think punches was thrown, if I'm not wrong. Whatever. They were wrestling, basically. It's 2 7-footers wrestling. I imagine that scene in the NBA. But this team is still the same team. I really don't see any improvements. Granted, I don't see any downgrades or disadvantages they have. So they're still the same team. Everybody will play and is playing good. I just got to see this team in playoffs. This team is a good regular season team. Has been for a couple of years. So I see no difference really. But hey, you gotta win games. You gotta beat bad teams. That's what they do. But let's quickly skim through the rest of the standings. Since we're on the West right now, we'll stick on the West. We'll stick on the West side, West Coast. You have the Mavericks, who look good, but it's still a Luka show. They face some relatively weak teams and beat them, and barely beat them. It's Luka and everybody else. Do I have to say more? Denver, Jokic still looks good, but Michael Porter has been playing terrible. Will Barton and Monte Morris has been more of a lead ball handler, stuff like that, to replace that Jamal Murray. And hopefully Michael Porter can get back on track. The Clippers, you're missing Kawhi, but Paul George has been playing MVP type level numbers. Went on a 7-game winning streak, if I'm not wrong. 6. They've been playing good. That's the 6th best team in the West. Lakers been playing bad to me. Some Lakers fans say, it's only how you gonna say the Clippers playing good when the Lakers or whatever. Westbrook, figure it out. Westbrook has been playing terrible. County numbers show that he's playing okay, but production wise, he's been playing terrible. AD, all right, I guess. And that's sad to say about AD because he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but he's been all right. Nothing out of this world yet. And LeBron has been injured for the past, 1 to 2 weeks. He's going to be out. Father Time is catching up. Westbrook do better. Carmelo has been the bright spot on their bench. That's about it for the Lakers. Grizzlies, y'all started off hot. Ja Morant started off as an MVP, leader. Now y'all are above average teams where I thought you were going to be. Ja Morant looks great. Steven Adams looks good. Everybody else, step it up. For Portland, Damian Lillard, get out of there. You've been struggling since the rule change, but that's no knock against you. But you just have been struggling. Um, y'all hold what a 6-7 record, below 500. Every other team is either 500 or better that I just named, and I feel like you're better than some of those teams above you. Um, but Dame, get out of there. Your numbers is dipped. CJ is his dip. Is really no good player as I've seen. Granted, I haven't watched a lot of Portland Trailblazers games, but it's really not a great player I've seen has been going off. Oklahoma, y'all got some big time wins, and y'all are killing it right now. Y'all beat the Lakers. That was a shocking. Shea is the real deal. Josh Giddey is the real deal. Y'all got a bright spot. Y'all got some bright spots over there, and y'all look great for the foreseeable future. Sacramento, I need y'all to do better. Harrison Barnes has been good starting off the season. Dipped down a little bit, but still solid. De'Aaron Fox, I really thought this could be the breakout season, but De'Aaron Fox is still solid. Tyrese, David Mitchell has looked good defensively. Offensively, got catching up to do, but defensively, he has looking very promising. Minnesota, y'all started off hot. Anthony Edwards went crazy. I think the last two games got 50. Still lost to the Warriors, but still got around 50 or 48. You look good, but inconsistency from D'Angelo Russell and everybody else. Cat, you look all right, but you did get embarrassed by Kevon Looney against the Warrior game. But besides that, y'all started off hot, and then y'all dropped 6 games in number on. Got to do better. Spurs, y'all got some good wins. When I mean good wins, y'all beat the Lakers, if I'm not wrong. Or y'all came close to beating the Lakers. DeJounte Murray looks amazing. Great leader right now. Is the only person who's been playing consistently well, should I say. Everybody else looks okay on this roster. Now we go down to the 2 worst teams who only have won the game this season. It's the Rockets. Y'all look bad. And it's just not like y'all look bad. Y'all look terrible, man. Jalen Green is an okay bright spot for y'all. Y'all been in some close games, but y'all didn't pull it. Y'all not pulling it out. But what can you say? Y'all are young rookies. Kevin Porter Jr. has looked terrible though. For what I thought he was going to do, for my expectations for this season, he looks terrible. Missing free throws. Bright spot only on this team is Jalen Green and Christian Wood. Sorry. And the Pelicans, I just don't know what to say about y'all. Ingram has been struggling. Zion is not playing. He's like 300 pounds now. I'm not saying he's fit, but the media. Zion does look out of shape though. Not that many bright spots. Devontae Graham has been okay. Valanciunas is y'all best player. That's a quick rundown of the Western. Now we go to the Eastern Conference. Cleveland has been the most shockingly good team. Evan Mobley, that little 4/5 he's playing is great. He looks good. Leader of the Rookie of the Year. We're going to talk about that more in predictions. But he looks great. That 3 big man rotation is playing very well. Surprisingly better than I thought. Y'all are great defensively. Even having Lauri Markkanen in that lineup, who to me is the liability defensively. He still is, but Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen is very covered. It's covering that. Isaac Okoro looks good. Ricky Rubio looks amazing. Coming off the bench, and Kevin Love is getting y'all valuable minutes. Garland is being that playmaker, and Sexton, he's hurt, but y'all still aren't winning. So, hey, what can you say? The Sixers, Ben Simmons fiasco still is happening, but without y'all having Ben Simmons, and besides that, y'all have been very well. Beating teams y'all have to beat. You hold an 8-5 record. Good enough for top 5 right now. So Joel Embiid is showing that he's still Joel Embiid. Drummond was a solid pickup. He's showing off the bench. Seth Curry has taken that leap, as in I'm gonna score the ball, and Tyrese Maxey is a good starting point guard. We go to Miami Heat. That's next. The Heat Nation. Y'all beat some big teams. Y'all acquisitions are looking very well right now, even though Jimmy is out right now. But acquisitions look very, very promising. Just very ready to ball. Tyler Hero is still showing since the beginning of the season he's in the running for MIP or six man of the year, either or, which one you want to throw at him. Um, Kyle Lowry showing he's a great pickup with PJ Tucker. The team has just plays well-nosed defense, and their offense has improved a lot from just last season when it was only Duncan Robinson and Tyler taking threes. Now your four is spaced out more. Bam looks better because he has a true point guard in Kyle Lowry, which we knew was going to happen. Y'all look great. Jimmy Butler doesn't have to do everything. Thank you. We move to the Raptors. Scotty Barnes is a savior over there. With Pascal being out for the Raptors, Scotty Barnes has taken a step I didn't see coming, and a lot of people haven't either, or didn't see coming. Scotty is probably the top three best player on that team, top third best player on the team, number three, whatever you want to say it, or how you want to say it. Scotty Barnes looks legit, and when Pascal came back, y'all look fine. Scotty Barnes came off the bench, but played starter minutes, so over there, y'all playing very, very good team basketball. And the same thing I can say about the Knicks. Great team basketball. Y'all dropped a couple of the games where I didn't think y'all would drop in the last two games y'all played. But you can see the acquisition of Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker starting to shape out. Evan Fournier a lot more than Kemba Walker. You increase RJ Barrett's minutes and roles as in the offensive side. It's looking like it's a little bit struggling right now, like hurting y'all, but it's okay. Julius Randle showing that the last year was not a fluke. Julius Randle looks very good. That's about it for New York. Mitchell Robinson is showing that he's still good after we haven't seen him play last season for a lot of games. Missed, I think, mid or whole season last year. I'm not sure, but you can check that out for me. You can double check that. Then we moved to Charlotte. Y'all looked fun for the couple of games at the beginning of the season. Now y'all look average, where I thought y'all were gonna be average. Miles Bridges, it's legit. I think it is contract year. Miles Bridges has looked amazing. LaMelo has looked good. He's taken a little step back, just a little bit, and his numbers aren't going to show it, but his production on the floor a little bit shows it. He took a little bit step back, but it's okay. He's still putting up 20, I think, if I'm not wrong. 20, 6 and 6 or 7 and 7, so he's still LaMelo. Gordon Hayward looks okay. Miles Bridges just looks like he's the welcome to my team type player right now. Looks like the best player. Now we move on to the Celtics. Woo, the almighty C's. Y'all are terrible. Can I just say that? Y'all are terrible without Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. And even when y'all play, y'all are bad. Y'all are really bad. Marcus Smart recently came out, talked about Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown, how they're little somewhat ball hogs, which it makes sense because that team over there is very heavily on a little bit of ISO and just give it to Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Since we're good, we can do the same thing and we don't have to worry about anything else. Dennis Schroeder recently had a big game for y'all, I think dropping 40. But y'all look average, which I don't think y'all are average. Y'all look averagely bad. It's weird. Y'all are better than this, but y'all look bad. Then we move to the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee, losing record right now. You don't have Chris Middleton because of COVID protocol. You just got back Drew Holiday because of COVID and an injury. And you're missing Brook Lopez because of an injury. Y'all look bad. But, again, that's because it's Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton. Your best players are not playing. There's literally Giannis out there by himself. And talk about Giannis, he didn't play today or last night. So, of course, y'all going to be bad with your best players and all out. But y'all bench and y'all, players who stepping up are winning you some good games. Are winning some good games that you, or I thought you shouldn't win. But, hey, do what you need to do. Now we move on to the Pacers, which the name of the Pacers is Chris Duarte. If I'm not wrong, he's from Oregon. Now I need to fact check that. But right now, at the start of the season, he looked like he was a winning rookie of the year. Great shooter. Just a great player. He's played a couple of show that he is ready. Played a couple of good games shooting the ball well from three. Sorry, he played for Oregon. But show that he's a good player. The 4 years really shows that he's little miles better or ahead maturely. Not talking about skill wise, but maturity on the court than the other rookies in his class. But besides that, he's really your bright spot. Miles Turner has been really good, but again, you still have that power forward / center problem. And your offense is very stagnant when that happens. So, what can you do? We go to Atlanta. Ooh, Atlanta. What can I say? Oh, this is tough. What can I say about Atlanta? Y'all are bad, and like when I mean bad, y'all are like 6-game losing streak bad. Trae Young is inefficient right now, even though his counting numbers doesn't show. Like the way he's playing on the court is inefficient. Cam Reddish has been good. Hunter's been good, but when your best player is inefficient, you're really not going to be great as a team. Clint Capella has been okay. John Collins has been just get it together, figure it out fast. You shouldn't be this bad. By the way, y'all started last season and you ended up last season in ECF. Y'all should be better than y'all are, but I just think it's early in the season. You don't have to sweat it, but it does have to get better before it get worse. Orlando, you have a better record than the Pistons. What can I say? You're bad, but Franz Wagner looks good. Cole Anthony looks great. Besides that, hey, you're bad, but it's okay because you're rebuilding. Jalen Suggs looks off. Been looking off for a couple of games, but he's still a good defender, a well-nosed defender. That's the magic for you. And then we go to the Pistons. My favorite team. We looked terrible. Offense, we don't look like we're doing anything. We're not playing players who should play. Jeremy Grant is really ball hogging, but what can you expect when he's the best player on the team? Besides Cade Cunningham, which he just came back, and when he came back, he won us our 2 games that we won. He won us our 2 games. Had some close games against some good teams, but we look bad. Cade is our bright spot. Luka Garza just played a lot of minutes today because of Kelly Olynyk injury of what happened result versus Houston or whatever. We just look bad, and I hate talking about us right now. Sadiq Bey is not playing like I thought Sadiq Bey would. He's missing shots, like volume and good looks. Besides that, he's playing like okay, but not as good as I thought he was going to be. Maybe just a sophomore year slump. Killian Hayes is playing very well. A lot of people will say he's playing garbage, but when you realize he's shooting almost 39% from 3, averaging like 2 steals a game, I guess you can say he's playing bad, but he's playing good in my eyes. Great defender, or good defender right now. And Cade Cunningham, games that he has played, he's been looking all right to good, very, very good. That Houston game in the clutch. But besides that, we're bad. That was a quick rundown of each team in each conference. A lot of talk about the top 3 on both sides because they're the best teams right now. And just a quick rundown. Now, with that out of the way, we move on to our next topic, which is my favorite part. Award races from MVP to Coach of the Year. We talk about the top 3 in each category. Starting off with the also coveted, we think if he wins this award, he's going to be the best player in a couple of years. Dun dun dun, Rookie of the Year. Again, these are my opinions and my takes. Right now, Rookie of the Year looks pretty good. Starting off 3-1. Right now, I feel like playing the third best out of all the rookies in his class is Chris Duarte. Um, the boy just can't miss right now. Like I said when I was talking about Indiana, he's been a bright spot right now. Um, Even though his age has been like his age is not the best for being a rookie. He's 23, 24. But right now, it seems like he can't miss. If I'm not wrong, he's shooting at about 38% from three, and about. Sorry about that, guys. My phone was ringing. But back to Chris Duarte. Why I have him third out of my rankings for Rookie of the Year. Um, he's been efficient. From three from the field, shooting 40% from the 3 point line on about what 6 attempts a game. About 6 attempts if I'm not wrong. Um, just has the stroke that Pacers need to space out. They definitely are missing lack of spacing, and having Chris Duarte in that lineup, definitely starting just helps. His first couple of games were amazing, actually. Against the Charlotte, opening at night, 27 as a rookie. It was pretty good on 6 for 9 shooting from three. It's not games that he's not shooting less than 40% from three on like 4 or 5, almost 6 attempts a game. Had a couple stretches in the month of October where it was rough, but got right back into it when November hit. He's the rookie that they need. Floor spacer, okay playmaker, but that 3 point shooting is just amazing. It fits right next to Sabonis, who's a playmaker out of a post. Malcolm Brogdon, who's a all right playmaker, not great, but just all right. It just fits. He just fits, and that's why I have him at third in Rookie of the Year voting. He's averaging a good 16 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2.5 assists. So you can't get mad at that. That's good stats for anybody, basically. Like your best player as a rookie, you want him to average those stats, so you can't get mad at it. The next player that I'm going to be talking about that I feel like is in second place is the next player I feel like who's in second place is Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley has been playing very good, like very efficient as a big man, rookie big man at that. Same thing. This is why the Cleveland is so good right now. Is because a big part of Evan Mobley's switchability on guards, on centers, on forwards. He can guard basically anybody. What it looks like on the court right now. He's mobile. He's an elite rim protector. As of right now, of his young age, he doesn't get in foul trouble like young bigs would be getting in foul trouble. It just looks like he's been playing this game a lot. Not just a couple of double doubles, good playmaker to great playmaker from that big man position, hitting threes at an okay rate. Started off okay, dipped down, but it's going to get better. You can tell by his form, not a bad form. Good finisher around the rim, post. He is skinny and like not bulky, but he's still banging down there and finishing around the rim very well. His stats on the year has been pretty good too for a rookie. Best big man in his draft class easily. Averaging 15, 8, 2, 15 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, a block and a steal, and a half a game. So, what can you ask more from Evan Mobley? And had a pretty good breakout year. Not breakout game. Not breakout year, but breakout game against the Knicks. 26 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. And they got the win. So, what else can you ask for? He's being a good rim protector. And I feel like he might. It's not of a stretch of him making a defensive team as a rookie. It's not out of a stretch because of teams' injuries and stuff like that. It's not a stretch. I can see him making a second team defense as a rookie. Yeah, that's Evan Mobley. Good winning record for Cavs. Good pick for Cavs. And my number one is nonetheless Scotty Barnes. He's being that point forward and he's locking up the best players on the other teams. Of course, not locking up, but slowing down as a rookie. That's already tough, and he's doing that right now. And then just his 3-point shot is not there at a high percentage as you'd like it to be, but he's taking them. But his mid range, boy, is already good. I didn't know his mid range was this good. It's good. It's good. You gotta respect the mid range. Had a couple 20-point games as a rookie. Starting lineup fits well. Good defender, switch abilities, can guard 1 through 5. Really good. I just don't know what he can't do on the court except for not shoot a 3 efficiently. But he's getting to the rack, and when he gets to the rack, he's finishing, drawing fouls, hitting free throws at a good clip. It looks like he's ready. That Draymond comparison, he's a souped up Draymond. Just a souped up Draymond. And that's not a bad comparison. That's a great comparison, actually. And Scotty Barnes is just more mobile, athletic, a better ball handler. He just looks good. He looks good. And with Pascal Siakam coming back, of course his number's going to dip, but I don't think he's going to get kicked out of the starting rotation unless he's playing bad with Pascal in there. But right now, he's the future of Toronto, and you got to love him over there. For right now, you can't complain if you're a Toronto Raptors fan. Now we move on to 6 men of the year. My favorite right now, 6 men of the year. My top 3 right now is Montrezl Harrell, Jordan Clarkson, and Tyler Hero. We're going to start off with Montrezl while I have him third. So starting off with Montrezl, coming off the bench and getting about 30 minutes per game. He's playing very, very good. 18 points, average, around 9 rebounds, 9.3, 9.5, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, a block. He's a reason why the Wizards are doing so good, and their bench is not just killing what the progress of the starting lineup has been doing. Montrezl has been a big part of it, shooting 64% from the field and shooting a couple of threes, 20%. The Lakers was a bad fitting when he left the Lakers. You can see what happened. He's really good. This man's being really good. Of course, he's not the defensive player we know. We know he should be for how low key athletic he is, but he's playing solid switchability on bigs. It's not killing them. Just being active. He's being active, and he feels like he wants to play more. And it looks good. It looks good. Wizards need that coming off the bench because Thomas Bryant, I'm not sure if he's back right now, but when Thomas Bryant comes back, he might be a starter. But what can you do? What can he not do as a big? He's a good pick and roll big, good lob threat, and he's shooting a couple mid range, getting low post feeds. Bradley Beal just opened up his game a lot more than I thought he would be. But right now, he looks very good. The Wizards are winning because of it. And I feel like the Wizards this season are going to be based off course, their starting lineup, how good they started, but their bench, they really haven't had a good bench since John Wall and Bradley Beal. Now, with Montrezl coming off the bench, you got Denny, you got Rory when he gets back healthy, if he's not already. You got a lot of pieces coming off the bench, and this bench is going to prove to be better than it should have been. This bench is going to prove to be better than it was previous years. My second is Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson has been, for the short span of games he's played, he's been good. And I'm not saying that because of the team he plays for and like the looks he's getting, because of course he's the really only person off the bench you can really rely on right now, what it seems like, if I'm not wrong. From what I've seen, games and all that, he's really the only person you can rely on. But nonetheless, Jordan Clarkson is still being that spark plug coming off the bench, averaging 14, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. He's doing what he needs to do. Shooting okay. Could be shooting better. Could be shooting a lot better from 3. But he's shooting okay. He's going to pick it up. I don't see it being this bad. About 23% from 3. 34 from the field. He's going to pick it up. But in the games that he has been going off, it's been showing. Like he already went for a 30-point game this season against Atlanta. Shot very efficient that game. He's Jordan Clarkson. We know what Jordan Clarkson is. Spark plug, bucket getter off the bench. I don't feel like we have to say any more about that. But the man we do have to speak of is number one right now is Tyler Hero. This man might win Rookie of the Year and Most Improved. How good Tyler Hero has been the best six man, and he's running away with this award right now. Averaging 21, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. People made fun of him because he wasn't the Tyler Hero that people thought he was going to be last season. You didn't trade off of James Harden and stuff like that. He's showing why you didn't trade him for James Harden necessarily, and he's been great. Like, this boy is just anything. It's a good look for him. Anything he does is not bad. Having Kyle Lowry very much helps him offensively, shooting 40% from 3, 46 from the field. All his numbers are up, and it's skyrocketed up. Even though this is the first 10 games, it looks great. Every game he has a green light from his teammates, from Jimmy, from Duncan. And it fits. When Victor Oladipo comes back, it's going to be the 1-2 punch off the bench, and I can't wait till that happens. I don't see him going to start lineup because he needs to be that 6-man. He's running that point guard / shooting guard role coming off the bench, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And when Oladipo comes back, it's going to get better. They're winning games solely because of Tyler Hero scoring off the bench. They won a lot of games because of that already. And I feel like he's going to keep it up for this season. We see what he did in the offseason. If you haven't seen, bulked up. You know, he looks big. What else can you take away from him? He's doing everything that you want him to be doing from a third-year player. And there's no downside to this right now. So that's how I have my rookie and my 6-man. Now we go on to defensive player of the year. And this is going to be interesting because right now it's a throw up in the air for it. My DPOY right now is a toss-up, like I said a few seconds ago. Because it's not voter fatigue in DPOY. They just give it to the player. And right now, for my third spot, I got Giannis. Even though this team has a bad record, relatively below 500 record, still being a good defensive player, blocking shots, getting steals, being there at Tyrion shots, just making it tough on teams to score in the paint. Definitely while their best perimeter defender is out in Drew Holiday, and their another great perimeter defender is out, and Chris Middleton. He's really just carrying the load defensively, and that goes without saying. Averaging about 2 blocks a game, a steal and a half. He's been great. He's Giannis. I don't think there's more to speak about that. It's hard to speak about Giannis when he's already great at everything he does. Except, what can you say about Giannis that hasn't been said already? My second one is Draymond Green. They're winning games. They're winning a lot of games because even though Steph Curry, Wiggins, Jordan Poole, Damian Lee, all the boys are going off, they're winning a lot of games because of Draymond's defense also. Draymond is just being in the right spaces at the right time. Definitely with Iguodala on the court makes it, they got that connection already. But, man, Draymond's defense, switch and rotation, it's been good to watch. Really thought he took a step back. Of course, we've seen him take a step back on defense. This year, I feel like he's going right back into it, saying, okay, we gotta win this year. I'm gonna go back to doing what I do on defense, and he's calling out switches, speaking on every switch, communication, all that good stuff, and that's what you love to see. That's why they're 11-1. That's why they're one of the best teams in the league as of right now. The Bulls game was over; they won, so right now they're 11-1. And hey, Draymond has a big thing to do with that. And of course, the number one is Rudy Gobert. They'll have to say it. He's deterring shots, blocking shots, making it tough to finish in the paint on the Jazz. But I feel like this is going to get exposed in the playoffs. But that's for a later date. Rudy Gobert is still the best defender right now. And the only reason why I say that It's because Ben Simmons is not playing. If Ben Simmons was playing, I don't feel like Rudy would be up this high. Voltage fatigue again is not a thing in DPOY. They just give it to, you know, they just give it to the player. But since Simmons is not playing, he's gonna miss a chunk of the season. And B is missing back to backs a couple of games too. What can you do to not to give it to Rudy Gobert? Rudy Gobert is obviously about to win another Defensive Player of the Year, unless Ben Simmons decide, okay, I'm gonna play today. But right now they're gonna have the way it's going right now. They're gonna have Ben Simmons as one of the best defensive players of all time, like the best one of all time, actually. The way it's going right now. Do I agree with that? No, but hey, what can you do about it? He's averaging about 2 blocks a game, 1 steal, doing what he needs to do. But for the past 4 years, 4 out of 5 years, he got DPOY. He's doing what he needs to do. Can't blame him. Can't blame the guy. Everybody's just playing enough minutes at center to do what he does on a team where they just throw it to, okay, you get beat on the perimeter. All right, just go to Rudy Gobert. He's going to do something. What can you do? Hey, it's not the playoffs. It's the regular season. But my next award was Coach of the Year. I'm gonna go through these Coach of the Year real quick because I feel like Coach of the Year is based on standings in the NBA and depending on where the team stands. And right now, if I had to go Coach of the Year, I would definitely give it to, right now, number one, as of today, I would give it to JB Bickerstaff. What he's doing in Cleveland is amazing. Nobody expect Cleveland to go crazy like this. They're a top 4 seed in the East right now. They're winning games and winning them comfortably, and JB Bickerstaff has a role to play in that. Everybody was crazy, and me, about bringing in a 3-big lineup, but hey, it's worked. Lauri Markkanen has not been getting exposed when I thought he was, so you got to give credit to JB Bickerstaff. He's my third. My second is the Chicago Bulls. Chicago is, of course, good, but they're doing way better than anybody expected. Top 3 seed again. And just doing what they need to do. Got the team playing with energy. And got the team playing with energy and acting like they want to play every game. Weston Sutton Jr. has been doing a great job over there. Bradley Beal gets a pick. Sorry about that. Bradley Beal gets the pick if he wants to stay or leave. I think this year or next year. So right now, looking like he wants to stay. He's having fun. They're winning. What else can you ask for? Sorry, that was Billy Donovan. My fault. Oh, that was Billy Donovan for the Bulls. But since we said since we were talking about the Wizards, let's talk about the Wizards. But basically, the Wizards are doing what the Wizards are doing. Sorry about that mess up. But the Wizards are doing what they need to do. But for my number 2, because the Wizards is my number 1, Weston Sutton Jr. is my number 1. For my number 2 is the Chicago Bulls. They're winning games. Like I said, top 3. Zach LaVine looks better on defense. Same thing with DeMar DeRozan, MVP level player right now. And without Patrick Williams, they're still winning games. They got blown out, but they're winning games and their defense still looks solid. So you got to give a lot of that on the coaching of Billy Donovan and how his rotation is going. But let me rephrase Coach of the Year because I got a little mix up. Number 3 right now for Coach of the Year, JB Bickerstaff of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Number 2, Chicago Bulls, Billy Donovan. And number 1, Weston Sutton Jr. For the Wizards. Coaching, winning, what can you do? But the last and final one that people love to hear about, people are going to fight about, and do everything they could, MVP. Right now, my third one right now for MVP, it was a tough one. And I'm gonna put this in a tiebreaker for third. It's between Jimmy Butler and Paul George for third. Both of these boys has been going off of their respectable teams. Jimmy Butler looks good. putting up points in bunches, still getting the playmaking, still getting rebounding, still playing elite defense. They added Kyle Lowry again. I know we talked about Kyle Lowry a little bit, but they added Kyle Lowry, and it looks like Jimmy Butler's job has gotten easier. And of course it will, because you added a good point guard, a true point guard. But this boy he's more free, and he looks more free. Man is like attempting threes, like 1 3 a game. Last season he barely attempted a three. It was a rarity. He's attempting a three. And if I'm not wrong, he's making a three. So what can you say that's not said about Jimmy right now? The Heat are winning. Jimmy this season is averaging about 24, 5 and 5. MVP number. Come on. 52% from the field. Come on. 30% from three. A little bit lower than a little bit higher than last season, but a little bit lower than the season previous. But 85% from the line. His boy is playing out of his mind right now. And they're winning. And Jimmy Butler is the reason why they're winning, and it looks amazing. They don't look like the same team from last year. And a lot of that is credit to Jimmy Butler, because he's learning that he has players to trust in Kyle Lowry, PJ Tucker, and the emergence of Tyler Hero just makes them play more freely. My second one is that boy over there in Brooklyn. That boy over Brooklyn, Kevin Durant. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. The Nets struggle without Kevin Durant. When Durant is on the floor, they win basically every game. And that's because of Durant, man. Durant is on another level this season. And that's crazy that I have him second talking about him like this. Dude is averaging 30, 38, and 5. On 60% shooting from the field and 43% from the three-point line. He just can't miss right now. And how bad Harden's playing, starting off in a couple of games. Kevin Durant just says, just give me the ball, we winning. Kevin Durant is the only player I can know that is doing that consistently right now. That's no Kyrie. Average James Harden. Average team. Kevin Durant just makes him a playoff team. Even a finals contender, the way Kevin Durant's playing. Durant plays like this whole season, I think he can go for MVP. And if James Harden playing at the level he is and Kevin Durant elevates somehow, it's not a question that he's not getting MVP. Kevin Durant is just being the best player every time he steps on the floor. Doesn't matter what team he faces. Doesn't matter. And of course, if you're a basketball fan, you know he's either 1 or 2 in the NBA. But right now, he's the best player in the league right now. When he steps on the floor. Now, best player doesn't mean most valuable. But right now, he's the best player on the floor. Now, my number 1 for MVP. Whew. Is it a surprise? It's that boy in Golden State named Stephen Curry. Talking about a man who can't miss. This boy is winning games for his team. If it's no Steph Curry, they're not winning games. He recently went off for 40 tonight against the Bulls. 50 a previous night. Like, he's scaring me. He's scaring me. 28 points, 40% from 3. He's going to shoot over 40% from 3. He's done it his whole entire career. At 45 from the line. This man is playing the best basketball I've seen in a minute. And that's crazy because he already unanimous MVP. And how can you say he's playing bad? The dude's being okay on defense. Better than average too. And he's just having fun out there. And his teammates are better than last season. So he's going to be better. He's going to make his teammates better. When they're better, their teammates is going to be... When he's on the court, like it's so baffling how good this man is. When he's on the court, Everybody's better. Give him a year. Everybody's going to be better around him. It's just no disadvantage of playing with Steph at all, at all. Because he's going to make your life easier, so much easier. It's not like a little bit. It's out of this world easier. Just do what the Warriors say and follow Steph Lee. You're fine. Um, but again, do I have to say he had a 50-point game already, 40-point game, a 30, and this dude is knocking down at historical rates of attempts from three and hitting them. It was to a point where I was watching the Atlanta game, and the Atlanta announcer was annoyed because Steph was dogging them. Like, he lives up to his name. The Human Torch, Chef Curry. He just lives up to every name. And that's my predictions of where I have people at right now for MVP, Racing, Rookie of the Year, Six Man, DPOY, and Most Improved. Just it's been a good year, and let me talk about Most Improved. I almost forgot about it. Most Improved right now is only Tyler Hero. I wish I can give you 3, but right now it's only Tyler Hero. Tyler again is running away with both awards. I feel like he should win both awards, but let's just say I had to get 3. My Most Improved is 3 from 1. Ja Morant, but he dipped down a little bit. But excuse me. Number 2 will be probably Miles Bridges. Been playing great for Charlotte, leading scorer for Charlotte. Just showing that he deserves a bag. He should be a part of this offense going forward next to LaMelo. But again, Tyler Hero is my number 1 right now. Is it close? Maybe. If you could say Ja Morant be number 1 because he's having an MVP type season, but Tyler Hero is just killing the league right now. And let's talk about Miles Bridges because we did talk about Tyler and his stats and stuff like that. Miles Bridges, I'm sorry, it's late a little bit. Sounding a little down, but it's late. But Miles Bridges right now is having a heck of a season, averaging 22, 7, and 3 on good shooting. The thing that makes probably will make him win MIP is because of the stat jump and the rebound jump. You're a 20-point per game scorer now, 7 rebounds. Even though you're not shooting it well, you're shooting at league average, so that's more than enough. Because Most Improved is just counting stats. So if your counting stats looks good and your shooting splits look okay, you're going to win it. It's just how it is. Definitely if you had an okay season the previous year or prior, you had an okay season, you're going to just get it. And Ja Morant, you can make his case. Boy's averaging 27, 6, and 7. He's shooting threes okay, 33%. Finishing at the rim greatly, of course. We already know how his mid-range is, his floater, all that package, his finishing package, basically. Shooting 49%. With Ja Morant, is more of, can he keep this up? I feel like he can't. But it is Ja, and he is a great player. So, it depends on how you see Ja and the Grizzlies playing. I feel like if he keeps this up, it depends on how good the Grizzlies can be. With Tyler Hero, it depends on how good he can be. Because Tyler Hero is going to have all the opportunities. Just like Ja Morant, he's going to have all the opportunities. But the team is not going to... If Ja Morant plays bad, the team plays bad. So it's going to look bad. If the Heat play bad, it's not because of Tyler Hero. That's not the first person. It's going to be Jimmy, Kyle Lowry. So it's about that narrative of, okay, Morant's going to play bad, the team's going to suck, or it's going to be average. If Tyler plays bad, it's okay, couple rust games, whatever. So it's all about narrative. But I see Tyler Hero winning this MIP award. He might win 6 Man of the Year too. What can you do though? what can you do? That's about it to wrap it up. I know it was kind of everywhere a little bit. I had a lot of things to think about. I had a lot of things processing. But if you enjoyed anything I said, if I made you laugh, made you think about something, whatever, leave a like, comment about something. Do your usual thing. Subscribe. And I'm out. Thank you for watching another episode of the GTR podcast. I'll see you next time. Peace. Peace.